Hey there, hope you're having a great week. So, yeah, you were absent for today's lesson, which totally okay. I hope that school is going well, hope that life is going well. I think we may have changed lesson days, but I'm not positive on that. So just double check that this was in fact the time and the day you were looking for. But regardless, I'll be making you a video lesson, as I know you already knew. Anytime that you can't make a lesson, I'll make you a video, just like this one. Yeah, so based on our last conversation, I thought it would be kind of fun to look at Hedwig's theme from Harry Potter, because I know you had mentioned being interested in trying that out on the violin. Now, I know that this is going to be a little bit more challenging than most of the stuff that we've done, but given your strong musical background, I thought that this might not be too much of a stretch. There's some chromatic stuff in here which we'll have to talk about in terms of how to play it, but I'll break it down today in this little video. We'll definitely do at least the first part of Hedwig's theme, so keep playing everything else we were looking at just for comfort's sake. First and foremost, we are in the key of G, which we are very familiar with at this point. So on our G string we have a high 2, which means your 2 and your 3 are touching. On your D string you have a high 2, which means your 2 and your 3 are touching. On your A string you have a low 2, which means your 1 and your 2 touch. And on your E string you have a low 2, which also means that your 1 and your 2 touch. Now, this song is filled with what are called accidentals. So anytime that a note is in a song that doesn't fit the key signature, and it's something outside of it, it is called an accidental. So I'll write this up on the board, even though I'm sure at this point you're probably already familiar with these, but I'll put them up anyways. You have 3 accidentals: sharps, which are higher, flats, which are lower, and naturals, which, easiest way we can think of them is negate the previous effect. So naturals return to whatever was there before. So sharps will always raise, flats will always lower, and neutrals will go in either direction depending on which one came first. So naturals will oftentimes, if you are already playing a sharp note, so for example, if we have an F sharp, let's say, if you get an F natural, what that means is you're going to go back to a normal F. So it's not necessarily that it, how do I explain this easily? Probably the easiest way to break it down is if in our key signature, so for example, in the key of G, perfect example because we're playing in the key of G, every single F that we play in the key of G is going to be a sharp. A high 2 in this case on the D string, or a normal 1 on our E string. However, if you end up seeing an F natural in this key signature, that means that that F sharp, which was changed because of the key signature, is now going to become a low 2, or on the E string, a low 1. So first, let's just look at, let's say this week up to measure 17 of this piece. I'll just play a little bit of it, and then I'll break some of it down. So here is the first part of Hedwig's theme. So that first part starts pretty straightforward, right? We've got our 2 on the G string, to a 1 on the D string, and then 3, 2, 1, jumping to our A string, 1, open, 2 on the D string, 1, 3, 2, open. Here's our first natural sign, F natural, low 2 on the D string, over to a high 2 on the G string. Same note, back to 1 on the D string, 3, 2, 1, 1 on the A string, 3. Now here we have a C sharp, so that means on our A string, that's a high 2, followed by, the next note is a natural, a C natural, so you have a low 2. So that would be 3, high 2, low 2. Next note is a G sharp, which means our 3 on our D string is going to be high. So not where you normally have your 3, high 3. So everything there goes 3, high 2, low 2, high 3, back to the low 2 on the A string, normal 1, and then that is an A sharp. Now we can't do a sharp open. We just can't physically do a sharp open. What we can do though is a low 1. So that A sharp is a low 1 on your A string. So all of those notes in a row. That's everything so far. Then the next note is a, what is that? A sharp. In this case, that can be played more easily as a low 2 on your G string. You can also play it as a high 1. Personally, I prefer to play that as a low 2 because then we don't shift positions, which we haven't really done a lot of position shifting yet. So for the time being, I would say play it as a low 2 on our G string, jump over to 3 on the D string, and then 1 on the D string. So that whole chromatic section from measure, what is that, 12 on, that's probably going to be the hardest part of this week's practice. So give that a good try, keep on working on our other stuff, and I will see you at our next lesson. Bye.